G'day, Aaron here, Rustic Traders, Brisbane, Australia, and we are in June 2025. Here to show off another bike. Now this is one that I've had for a little while. The reason I'm showing off this one is because we did a video on another one of these and people said that they want to see one of my other ones. So here it is. Here's my second Malvern Star Sovereign Star. The other one was blue. This one's obviously purple. You can check out the blue video. It's in my other videos, worth a watch. So Malvern Star, iconic brand, started in 1902 by Tom Finnegan, who started the brand after winning the Austral wheel race in 1898, and he won 240 gold sovereigns. That's what started the brand. And that brings me to this bike, because the Sovereign Star, they made 240 of them only, ever. And each one has its sovereign on there, which we'll check out shortly. They're all numbered, number 1 to 240. And so I now have 3 of them. When I did the other video, I had 2, now I have 3. 240 of them out there, I got 3 of them. Gotta be happy with that. So when they finished the 5 stars, that's when these guys came out, the end of the era of the 5 stars, and this was the equivalent level of the 5 star. Everyone knows Malvern Star, huge brand, Australia's iconic brand. Hubert Opperman was knighted. He started riding for Malvern Star in like 1926, something like that. Malvern Star's also the first Australian team to race the Tour de France. That was in 1928. It was a Malvern Star team, and that was led by Hubert Opperman, who was world champion. He won times, long time not beaten, and he was eventually knighted, so, famous guy. So this guy came out in 1972. This one is number 21. We can see each one has a sovereign, not actual gold, I don't think. No, it wouldn't be. Brass or something like that. So number 21 of 240. I think the other one that I showed was number 70 something. So this one's getting lower in numbers, which is cool. They've got all first generation Dura Ace Shimano gearing, which at the time, and still Dura Ace is Shimano's top of the line. There was nothing better than that at the time. The Shimano derailleurs of the time were named after birds. You've got the crane, there's also the falcon, the eagle. You can look up the different ones. So full Dura Ace, all over it. Love the old stuff. Cranks are definitely well sought after. Any of the early first generation Dura Ace is sought after stuff. Now I'm pretty sure this bike is all original, except for the seat. Doesn't have the original seat as far as I know. Now what's interesting about this stem, some people will know this is factory drillium. So drillium seemed to be something that they went crazy with there for a while, maybe in the 60s, 70s and early 80s, where they would drill out their aluminium bike parts to make them lighter. Seat poles, cranks, stems, everything. Drill holes through them to just take, gram here, gram there off. And if some of the photos you can see online, a bit scary in how much is drilled out. Some of the seat poles I seen drilled out look like Swiss cheese, and you'd be worried that it was going to snap off. But this, they've taken a groove out and drilled in there, so that gives it just a nice look, but also it's taken all that weight out, which was very important for them at the time. Also done it in the levers. So they've tried to do it in a way that doesn't cause it to be weaker. And I used to work in a bike shop, and guys would come in with their scales, weigh parts to try and find a part that was cheaper than theirs. Like seats was something guys would come in, and because a seat was 17 grams lighter than their seat, they'd buy it. They'd spend $300 on it because it was 17 grams lighter. So for the roadies, it was very important to have an extremely light bike. Also, the fluted seat poles, it's the same idea. They're trying to reduce weight without reducing the strength there. So they think, it's not necessary to have those little bits of aluminium, so they drill them out. machine them out to make it lighter. And this one here, interestingly enough, we've got someone's name. I don't know if this person was a famous racer or not. MS Con. Malvern Star Con. No, joking. The person that bought the bike, they could have been a racer. I haven't actually searched this person. But a lot of the bike shops, whoever bought the bike, they would write the name on there of the owner, just on the top bar there. I don't know the actual weight, but they're super light for a bike of their time, for a steel bike. It'd be an all chromo, full chromo frame. So the decals on here are interesting. You've got your little sovereign star there. So these are a transfer. And at the time, most bikes were moving over to a sticker, but these are still your water transfers. Same as the early stuff. And then down here you've got Malvern Star. Now most, if not just about all Malvern Star decals are large Malvern Star. But interestingly, on this very large frame, they have this tiny little Malvern Star decal. And I've only ever seen that exact one on this Sovereign Star. Some of the Dragsters had like a smaller one, but even those were actually bigger than this. And there is another decal on the front, which is only seen on this Sovereign Star. Now, sometime before I've owned it, it's had a scratch, like it's slid down something there. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. You can also see the original Dura Ace brakes here, first generation Dura Ace. And the shifters, spoken about them before, jokingly call them suicide shifters. Any of the shifters you had to take your hands off the handlebars to change gears, they call a suicide shift. You know, the old Harley Davidsons where you had to reach down beside you to change gears because it's considered dangerous to remove your hands. It probably never was. It's not very far away. That is further away than the ones on here, but still they call it a suicide shift because you've got to take your hands off to change gears, which was interesting. But anyway, love the bike. Original condition, original paint, that's how I love them. I've got 2 in original condition, 1 in not original paint condition. As far as value of these goes, the only one I've seen for sale recently was in not original condition and they wanted $2,000 for it, which is a lot of money, you know, for not original condition. That's not the one I bought, but I am still considering that one because then I'd have 4. Anyway, love the bike. You guys wanted to see it. Hope you enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll be showing off more bikes over the coming weeks.